So what was it like going against your former team?
It was very weird. Adrenaline rush definitely in the first inning. Had a tough time trying to calm myself down, but just focus on my breathing, and once I got that third out, was able to settle in and really make some pitches.
Stallings was saying that he made it a point to bring it up to you pregame to try and keep your emotions in check. Did that help, or was it just going to be hard no matter what?
Yeah, it definitely helped a little bit, but I knew that first inning was going to be a challenge, and after we got that third out, he came up to me. He's like, great pitch right there. Now we can settle in and really focus on the game plan. So, he did a great job back there again today.
How much are you enjoying working with him again?
It's been huge. He knows me really well, and, just to have that, going into the start is huge, and, really get to build off what we had in Miami. And he caught my first bullpen and was able to see the sweeper and the slider that have gotten a lot better since then. And really able to mix those in now, and it's a lot of fun having him back there.
Do you think a year ago or even 6 months ago you would have been able to handle facing your former team as well as you did today?
That's a good question. If I were to face them with the stuff I had last year, probably it would have been a 50-50 toss-up. But with the work that I put in this year and where my stuff's at now is I had a really confident going into it, but at the end of the day, they're in the big leagues for a reason. Got to execute my pitches, and was able to do that today.
How confident are you that you're going to be able to carry the success that you've had in these 6 starts into the second half?
Yeah, I'm really liking where I'm at, but I don't try to focus on the future. I don't dwell on the past either. Try to just present moment focus, day to day, stay within my process, and it's helped me a lot this year, and really just continue that focus day in and day out.
What did Mansolino say to you when he came out in the 6th, and how badly did you want to stay in to face Stowers and maybe get that final out?
Yeah, he just said, hell of a job, stuck his hand out. There's a second, wanted to try to convince him to keep me in there, but I did my job up to that point, and I make a little bit better pitch to Dane, and it's a ground ball to Gunner, but tip your cap. I made a good pitch, and it just found a hole. So I did my job, and I trusted Soto, and I'll always trust Soto to come in there against the lefty and get it out.
Pretty loud standing ovation from the fans as you walked off. What did that mean to you?
And that was whew. Try to keep my emotions under control. That meant the world to me. Just having that ovation with the fans, and it really meant a lot. And just they love their baseball here, and the fact that I could give them that performance and in front of them, in front of this unbelievable crowd, it meant the world to me.
Especially with how the fans. I mean, I know you don't pay a ton of attention to the outside noise, but fans are obviously critical over your starts when you were struggling. How much of a redemption, I guess, was it for them to kind of stand up and give you that sort of reaction?
Yeah, it's really came full circle. They were tough on me, but at the end of the day, in the back of my mind, I knew I wasn't who I knew I could be. And it goes back to, I've said it 1,000 times, all the work that I've put in with French and Clem and Mitch and Forrest, the list goes on, Ramsey. It's just a lot of hard work has finally paid off. And, we still got a lot of baseball to play, but, finally full circle moment, and it was pretty special.